On the 100th episode of Annual Pass, we talk about some of the oldest theme parks in America, including one that absolutely blew my mind. Find out what it is on today's episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Annual Pass. This is the podcast where we talk about all things theme parks, rides, shows, attractions. If it happens inside of a theme park, it happens here on Annual Pass. I am your host, Jack Pattillo, and of course, joining me as always is my lovely, talented, and beautiful co-host, BK. Hi, Beaks.
Hello, Jax.
How are you doing, Jax?
I don't know.
Do I have metal arms? What do you think's
Jax.
going on here?
Am
I a lizard, or was it Jack and Daxter? Who was
Jack?
that?
It was Jack and Daxter, but Jack was the guy.
Gex.
The
Gex was the lizard.
Yes.
What was Jax? What was Jack from Jack and Daxter?
Jack was Jack. I don't know the name.
But what was it? What kind of was he an animal? I forget what it was.
No, he's like an elf person.
Elf person. That's not me. Hi everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of Annual Pass. We've got a fun one today. Today we are celebrating our 100th episode. That is right, 100 episodes of Annual Pass recorded over the past 2 years. Thank you again, every single person who's watched and listened to the show. It means the world to us. Make sure to grab some merchandise as well. Store.roosterteeth.com. Pick up some merchandise. We got shirts. I'm rocking the old school, Epcot looking one. BK has the theme park shirt on.
Yeah.
We've got the mini backpacks in the store right now, which we're going to do something with those mini backpacks. We're going to do some sort of like challenge thing or something where I want to see those mini backpacks all over the world.
Everywhere.
I don't know, but we're going to do something where you can win something if you take a photo with your mini backpack. So those are up at store.roosterteeth.com. Grab that now, and then we'll give you the information soon. You can win something with that. And also follow us on all the media stuff. That's what it is. The social media. That's what it's called. We're at annual_pass over on Instagram and on Twitter. We are Annual Pass Pod on TikTok. And you can also find us at youtube.com/annualpass. That's where we put up all our video versions of the podcast. All of our shorts go up there. I'm working on some news stuff. It's going to pop up there. If you want to see the live version of our show where you can actually see our faces, youtube.com/annualpass. Go over there, check that out. So, but today it's our 100th episode, BK.
That's crazy.
We did it.
100 episodes. I didn't know. I've never committed that long.
Yeah, you haven't?
No.
I kind of drug you along with this.
I think you did.
You joined us about halfway through this thing. Ben Lexa, you're here. You've been here since the beginning.
Yeah, I'm really happy to announce that Daxter is an ottsel, a fictional hybrid of an otter and a weasel.
All right. Thank you. What about Jack though? J-A-K.
Jack's just like a dude.
An elf person?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, Ben Lexa, can you look up BK, do you remember the first episode you were in? Do you remember what we talked about?
Yes.
What was it?
I think the first episode was the Captain EO episode.
Was it Captain EO?
That sounds correct.
I think so.
Wow. Let's see here. Let's figure out which episode that was. I've got a spreadsheet I've been running for a long time here. Let's see here. Captain EO was episode 61.
Okay, so just after the mid-mark.
A little bit about the halfway point or so.
Not bad.
And so today's episode, again, it's the 100th episode. I kind of wanted to take a little bit more of a laid-back approach to it. We've been doing this for a long time. Let's have some fun with it. You and I, over Christmas, went over an article, and we talked about the different Christmas events going on in parks. I figured I like doing that. So, 100 episodes. I thought, what are some theme parks that have been around for over 100 years?
That's insane. I didn't even think theme parks were around for that long.
So 100. So I found a list. at cntraveler.com of the 7 oldest theme parks in America.
Wow.
So again, just the U.S. And so I figured we can kind of go through some of them and take a look at it. So let's just kind of run down the list. There's some interesting ones. Some I've never heard of. Some I've heard a very lot about that I was shocked that it's that old. But we'll get to that one in a bit. Starting out with Lake Compounce Amusement Park in Bristol, Connecticut.
Connecticut. I feel like they got a lot of stuff in the Northeast that's old.
Well, it makes sense that a lot of these are going to be in the Northeast area. As a matter of fact, I've got Connecticut, Pennsylvania, New York, Pennsylvania, Iowa. Yeah, they're all Northeast because the U.S. is a pretty young country.
My brain. I'm in history. I feel so dumb.
Yeah, so Alexander Hamilton's not going to be on any of these attractions.
No.
But I mean, you think 100 years old. 100 years old in the U.S. is a long time. I mean, 1776 is when we declared our independence, right? So
don't remind me.
250 years or so we've only been around. Not a whole lot. So attractions around for 100 years, that's, a good, 40% of the time the country's been around. So Lake Compounce Amusement Park in Bristol, Connecticut, established as an outdoor recreational area in 1946. This Connecticut mainstay is America's longest-running amusement park. A casino was built in 1895, later leading to the construction of a nationally recognized carousel in 1911 and an electric outdoor roller coaster in 1914, which was replaced in 1926 by the Wildcat, a beloved wooden coaster still in operation.
1814?
Along with 44 rides, the state's largest water park, Crocodile Cove, now calls the property home. So, so this thing has been around for a long time. So Lake Compounce up in Bristol, Connecticut, this is going to have to be one I go to at some point. That
sounds
wild.
Awesome. And there's a water park there now?
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm looking at their website now at lakecompounce.com. Wildcat will remain closed for the 2023 season as our team begins an improvement project on the coaster.
Oh, wow.
Don't get rid of it. Since 1927, the Wildcat has delighted riders of all ages at Lake Compounce. Almost 100 years of just one coaster. It is an iconic part of our park's history, and we intend for it to be a cherished part of our park's future. With that in mind, our team has decided to begin a restoration project on the coaster that will create a more enjoyable experience for all riders. Wildcat will remain closed for the entirety of the 2023 season for the start of this improvement project.
27.
This thing looks old. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, Ben Lexa, I've got a quiz for you. Do you remember TGIF?
Yes.
I don't know if you were alive during that. So in the late 90s, TGIF, that was thank goodness it's Friday.
The restaurant brand?
No, that's thank God it's Friday. Anyway, TGIF, that's where I think it was Full House, Step by Step. I want to say initially America's Funniest Home Videos was part of TGIF.
Yeah, it was a network show, though, that played these shows.
ABC had TGIF. So this was, I think, I forget exactly when. Anyway, the show, Step by Step. Do you remember Step by Step?
I don't know if I remember.
Patrick Duffy, Suzanne Summers, a bunch of other actors.
I know those. I do know those names.
It was a loose spinoff of the world of Family Matters.
Okay.
Which I think was a loose spinoff of the world of Full House.
Yes.
Technically. So Urkel, everyone's favorite, he made a jetpack, which launched him up in the air. And they're like, oh, where did Urkel go? Next episode of a show started up. Urkel lands in this family's house. And it's like, what the heck?
This is where he is now.
Yeah. And so that show was called Step by Step.
Okay. I just didn't know that was the setup. I really did not know that.
Oh, yeah. So anyway.
I missed the pilot.
So, yeah, it's a whole thing. So Step by Step, there was like 9 kids in this one family. I forget the full plot of it. But the opening of that show, this is where you come in, Ben Lexa. The opening of Step by Step included them on a roller coaster next to a lake. Looking at this picture of the Wildcat, I think that might be the coaster. I could be wrong, and maybe Ben Lexa can check for me.
Research.
But it looks like that might be the coaster from Step by Step.
In the sitcom Step by Step, Colossus is the roller coaster that the Lambert Foster family rides in the opening sequence.
Where is Colossus based out of, Ben
looking
Lexa?
it up right now.
All right, he's looking that up. So, okay, I was wrong.
I was wrong. Sorry, y'all.
We figured that out very quickly. So, anyway, would you ride a roller coaster that's over 100 years old?
Honestly, I think I would. Like I'm actually a little more confident on a roller coaster that's been around for that long. Like it's got to be good,
yeah,
you know?
I mean, it's a wooden coaster. I mean, as far as I can tell, no one has gotten significantly injured on it. So I mean, that's a pretty good record, I would imagine. So all right.
It's so scary. Like, I don't know, old coasters are freaky. The creaking and the rattling and you're
they
like
sway.
But at the same time, I'm like 100 years, like this has got to be safer in my opinion than new stuff, experimental stuff where you see it in other countries where they're just like wilding in the roller coasters. I probably would not ride that.
Yeah, roller coasters now, it feels like, what can we do to almost kill people? You know?
But not like
this was
special.
this was like, oh, look at technology, it exists. You know, it's an electric roller coaster.
Science.
Also, want to point out the water park is called Crocodile Cove. Do you want to put your feet in a lake called Crocodile Cove?
No, but it's exciting, Jack. It gets the people going.
No one knows. All right, so let's move on to another one. Well, Arben, do you have an answer for Colossus?
Yeah, so the Twisted Colossus, previously known as the Colossus, is in Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Oh, out in California. That makes sense.
Yes, and it actually is featured in a number of television episodes, including Knight Rider, Wonder Woman, and the A-Team.
Oh,
A-Team.
Nice.
Wonder Woman.
But I thought it was next to a lake. Is the one in Magic Mountain? Because it's not right next to a lake. Did they just add that in? Was that special effects it in?
I don't know.
Jack is locked into
now
this lake.
This lake is blowing my mind. Let's move on to another one. How about Idlewild? Have you heard of Idlewild?
No. What is that,
In
a Pokemon?
Ligonier, Pennsylvania? Is that how you pronounce it? Look at that word at the top. Ligonier, Pennsylvania? Ligonier? Ligonier. Is it French?
It looks like it has sauce to it. That's all I have to say. It looks like you need to pronounce it a specific way.
It says here, what started, this is from, again, cntraveler.com. What started in 1878 as a railroad owner's ploy to attract train travelers quickly exploded into a full-fledged amusement park, transforming from a traditional campground to a leading children's entertainment destination. Sitting 50 miles outside of Pittsburgh, Idlewild continued to draw families with its with its collection of coasters, including 1938's groundbreaking Toboggan Company Rolo Coaster, as well as kiddie rides, concerts, a water park, and the Ligonier Highland Games athletic competition. What is the Ligonier Highland Games athletic competition? I'm going to look that up here.
I mean, I guess I understand like sports activities, or I guess I consider running a sport at an amusement park. But then you say athletics competition. Like, I'm like, are the attractions involved? Like, what is that?
Oh boy! All right, here. So I just Googled the Ligonier Highland Games competition. It's Scottish Highland Games, so it's people doing like caber tossing and stuff. This might be something we have to go check out. That looks awesome. Just looking at an image.
What?
The 64th Ligonier Highland Games. There's a phone number on this website here.
You gotta call them.
September 16th, 2023. So what are you doing in September, Beeks? You want to go up to...
You know what? I think I'm free.
You want to go to Pennsylvania?
Yeah, let's do Pennsylvania.
At Idlewild? Please note, dogs are not permitted at the Highland Games.
But what about cats?
I don't know about that. Let's see here. Paula Monroe Lockhart is the honorary chief of the games. And let's see here. Oh, we can save $2 off each ticket. Click here to order. There's a map. Download the Highland Games map. Let's see. Does the map have Highland dancing? We can do some Gaelic dancing.
Okay.
There is a fiddling competition and a harp competition. I want to go to a harp competition. Do they have like competitive harps with like blades on them and stuff? Like we'll get super serious.
No, it's not going to be like that. Not violent. I'm sure it's like a riff off, but like with harps.
There's a Scottish dogs area.
That's why there's no dogs. They already have dogs.
They brought their own dogs.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm asking lots of questions of you guys. If you've been to the Ligonier Highland Games competition, please let us know in the comments. I want to know more about that. Or if you want to go, September 16th, 2023 at Idlewild Park, 2574 US Route 30, Ligonier, Pennsylvania, 15658. So go check that out.
Do they have vendors? I need an outfit. Like, I can't go there in plain clothes.
All right. So I can give you the 2022 vendors. Let's see here. You know what
I mean? Like, you're not going to show up to this competition, people in kilts, and I can't get one.
The Ashling Lane Celtic Jewelry was there. The Balmoral School was there. Celtic Museum replicas.
What?
Celtic Treasure. Tim Meyer Fireball Designs.
Sick.
Flora and Folklore. Harp and Hound Jewelry. Highlander Jerky. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. The Larkin Tea Company. Modarva Glass Studio. Sunflower Trading. St. Kilda, USA. Why are you waiting?
That's funny.
Wire, the like WIR.
Oh my gosh.
Why are you waiting? Raiders and Co. Gyms, or Leaders and Co. Gyms, and Marini made harps. You can go pick up a harp there.
You could buy
There's a whole lot. Okay. Oh, there's also Celtic Treasure is Celtic themed clothing and jewelry. So you can get set up there. So you're good.
I just wanted to look like I belong.
Okay, so you can go pick up your Celtic stuff there. So anyway, we're gonna be checking that out. We'll do our first ever Highland Games meetup.
We have the Rope Chop Run Club. I want the Rope Drop Log Launching.
The caber tossing
team.
The annual pass caber tossers. All right, so that's that one. That's pretty impressive. I'm happy with that one. Okay, let's go to another one. How about Seabreeze, which is in New York, actually. It's in Irondequoit, New York. Do you know that name? Iron.
That's probably very upstate.
It's like Irondequoit. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Yeah, I would say. I think you're saying it right.
Yeah, it's so this one, upstate. It's okay, upstate. This upstate legend opened in 1879, first catering to trolley customers looking to unwind at the end of their journey. It started to add excuse me, it started to add rides several decades later, including a carousel in 1915, followed by 4 roller coasters. The most famous, the 1920s Jackrabbit, awed riders with its stomach-churning 7-story drop, sharp turns, and steep hills. At nearly 100 years old, the wooden thriller ranks as the world's 4th oldest operational coaster. Let's go ride the Jackrabbit. Over 100 years old. Thing opened in 1920. So that's at Idlewild. Wait, excuse me. Wait, Idlewild? I have the wrong link. No, I take it back. Seabreeze and Iron. Okay, I got my things mixed up here. Okay, Seabreeze. Let's see if I can find the website here. Seabreeze.com. Easy as that. Oh, the first image is a girl eating a burger in front of her friend, just very rudely.
I know, it is. That was pretty savage.
All right. So do you want to go up to Seabreeze?
I mean, the area is beautiful. I just was looking up the stuff. It's like one of the suburbs in Rochester, New York. And like,
oh, yeah, it's in Rochester, New York.
Yeah,
okay.
I was like, okay, well, I forget that New York is coastal. You know what I mean? So when you were saying Seabreeze, I was like, what are you talking about?
99% of the time when someone says, oh, I'm going to New York, they mean New York City.
Right.
And so a lot of people forget that New York is a pretty big state.
It's a huge state. It is very large.
All right, let's look at the thrill rides here at Seabreeze. We've got Time Machine, which is like a little thing that goes around in circles.
Okay,
I think it's called a couch coaster. Not a coaster, but it's like where it's like on a piston that spins around and you kind of like whip back and forth. The Jackrabbit, which is still there. It was built in 1920. The Jackrabbit is the oldest continuously operating coaster in America, designed by Miller and Baker. Is that B&M? Whoa,
No
that
way.
can't be B&M, right? Like, so B&M coaster is still around now. I don't know if that's them. But that would be M and B, I guess. The giant wood coaster features a modified out and back track layout. 2,150 feet of track includes a spectacular 75-foot drop, awesome dips, a wild last curve, and a fantastic finale through a dark tunnel. This legendary ride turned 100 years old in 2020, and on May 21st, 2021, the Jackrabbit received a certificate of special congressional recognition at the park's opening press conference. Wow.
Anytime you say that this attraction is over 100 years old, my mind just really struggles to comprehend.
That's wild. That is so
like
that's
things
so
can be
wild.
that old, like and still work, and people visit and ride. Like it just, I can't compute it.
You know, it's a classic theme park when the other attractions are just called log flume, bobsleds.
Right, there's like one ride that has a name.
Wave swinger.
And then everything else is exactly like named of what it offers.
Bumper cars. Oh. Bumper cars is like the staple of old theme parks to me.
Totally.
Like there's always bumper cars at like the old classic ones.
Some sort of like Ferris wheel or carousel.
Yeah.
And then anything else.
Yeah. Ben Lexi, get your hand up. What's going on?
Yeah, so John A. Miller patented over 100 key roller coaster components and is widely considered the father of the modern high-speed roller coaster.
Oh.
Besides patenting ingenious inventions for coasters, including several types of brakes and car bar locks, Miller built his share of unusual scream machines. In 1920, Miller went into business with Harry C. Baker as Miller and Baker Incorporated. And over the next 3 years, they built popular coasters all over North America.
Oh, okay. So it's not B&M, which is the thing I was thinking. M and B, I guess so. All right, well,
not
there we go.
confusing at all.
We're learning our theme park history here today. All right, the next one. This one is one I've heard of before.
Okay.
So this is in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It's Dorney Park.
I've been to Dorney.
You've been to Dorney Park.
Yeah.
You've been to one of the oldest theme parks in America.
What? I did not know that.
Dorney Park actually began as a trout hatchery and private resort in 1860, but by 1880, founder Solomon Dorney, there's not enough Solomons now. Solomon Dorney had shifted his interest to public attractions like mechanical rides, zoos, manicured gardens, and playgrounds. The park continued to expand over the next century, adding, among others, a chute with a tidal wave-inducing 80-foot drop, as well as the 75-mile-an-hour Steel Force, the world's 9th longest steel coaster at 5,600 feet, over a mile long for that guy. So you've been to Dorney Park.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was an awesome trip. It was like at the end of, I think it was like in college, and I was in this a cappella group, and we were doing like a senior trip.
You were in an a cappella group?
Yes.
Did you watch like Glee and you're like, that's going to be my future?
100%. I was invested. I was like, that is me. Rachel is I.
Yeah, you're going to be like, Leah, what's her name? Like, you're going to go and be on Broadway.
Yes. I was Rachel, and Idina Menzel's also my mother. Like that's what I thought.
Nice.
But no, we went, we did like a celebration. Like the seniors kind of like all went out to like a park and a trip, and it was awesome.
That's
like
cool.
it gave kind of, I don't know, Busch Gardens vibes in a sense.
Okay.
So I've been in there, and I think we did everything. Like we were just like, let's just do everything.
That's awesome. Did you go on the antique carousel?
I might have. I think I did.
Really? Okay, yeah, it's literally called Antique Carousel. I'm going through I'm looking through the various attractions here. They're sorted by names. Hang on, let me sort by thrill level. Okay, let's do
Thrill level,
aggressive.
That's a good one.
Aqua Blast, which I think is a water ride. Yes, I see people in swimsuits. The Demon Drop.
Drop. Did you go
on that?
I don't do drop rides.
Do you not? So the Demon Drop, it looks like one of the classic ones. We had one of these. I want to say it was the cliffhanger and at Six Flags Over Texas.
Yeah.
It's one of those where you would get into it and it was like an elevator. Like literally you would strap in and it would go up and then you would go out and then drop and then slide onto your back. And so that was the one you'd put a nickel on your knee, and then like when it dropped, the nickel would float up to about like, chest height, and then it would go whipping off when you turned. But I remember doing that. There's another one called the Dominator.
The Dominator.
Hydra, which that looks kind of cool. That's like a single rail coaster. That's pretty cool. Meteor. Did he go on Meteor?
I don't think I...
Minimum
I gotta see it.
It's like, I just see that picture at the top. I don't have a lot to it there, but...
Oh, okay, yeah, that one's wild. We didn't do any water stuff, though.
Okay. There's something called Possessed. That's kind of cool. Revolution. Yeah, why are those single names? You got to give me more descriptive. Okay,
right.
Here's Steel Force right there. That's one of the longest ones. That one's been around for a while. Talon and Whitewater Landing. Those are all the... So Whitewater Landing, I think, is that one that's been around forever, too. So that's kind of cool. So Dorney Park. I've heard of that one before. I want to check that one out at some point.
You got it. That's a good one.
All right.
It's like it's in the middle of nowhere. It really kind of is.
How dare you besmirch the people of Allentown, Pennsylvania by saying they're in the middle of nowhere. I'm sorry. All the Allentown folks are going to jump in the comments and just tear you apart.
I'm sorry.
BK.
I'm
so rude.
It was rude. I just, when the street lights on the highways start being less and less, you start to think you're in nowhere, and I'm sorry.
Where are we going? And then it's like it's like start of the Finders Keepers. What was that? Or Jeepers Creepers?
Jeepers Creepers, that one.
There we go. So if Justin Long is on your bus, worry. Let's move on to Arnold's Park. So Arnold's Park is in Arnold's Park, Iowa. When Wesley Arnold bought this Great Lakes area parcel back in 1864, he planned to turn the property into a hotel. By 1889, however, the Arnolds had constructed a picturesque water slide on the banks of the lake, marking the land's transition into one of Iowa's top amusement parks. These days, the park is home to dozens of more attractions, including Legend, a landmark wooden coaster erected in 1927. So, we're coming up 4 years away from the 100th anniversary of that attraction. So let's look at the rides here. I got some of the rides here at Arnold's Park. Again, let us know if you've ever been to Arnold's Park. This looks, this looks old.
Is this the one?
That's it right there. Yeah.
Because I pulled it up, and the first thing on the page is like, book your wedding here.
Yeah.
I was like,
man.
You'd have a wedding?
Yeah.
At like your local park?
I will say some of these, so I was looking through some of these before. A lot of them, if you go to like the contact pages, it's like, hey, are you an influencer? We'd love to have you here. Like, it's a lot of people's like, yeah, we'll give you tickets. So I think I would love that. We should just do a round trip and just hit up all of these parks. Like, let's have an old park trip where we go do all of them. And just like, tweet out everything and Instagram, all this stuff. Let's see. We've got Wild Mouse as a coaster. Something called Reckless, which just has children strapped to a thing and they're like whipping around. Hang on. Let's say, and you can see that little image there.
That is, don't name it Reckless.
Yeah, it's just children strapped.
It's a kid's ride. It's like a kid's spinny ride.
Yeah, it's a kid's spinny ride. Rocco Plane, the Rollo Plane. So there's the Rocco Plane and Rollo Plane. I don't know what that... It looks like the Rocco Plane is kind of like a traditional carousel, whereas the Rollo Plane, I think, actually spins you around in circles. The Legend roller coaster, Freddy the Fish, and something called El Paso Train.
Actual Freddy the Fish?
So is that... It's like the one right there. Is that Freddy the Fish? I know. Freddy the Fish, that's an ice cream thing, right?
No. It's like a video game.
I'm thinking of... what's the whale called? What's the ice cream whale called? It's a thing.
I'm gonna need more words than that.
Just look up
the ice cream whale. I'm googling right
Google
now.
ice cream whale.
Ice cream whale. What's it called? It's like Torchy the Whale or Icy the Whale.
Fudgy the Whale
Fudgy
is a
the
type
Whale.
of ice cream cake produced and sold by Carvel and its franchise stores.
What up?
You really pulled that out of your
old man here.
Yeah, you did. You
talking about
that.
Fudgy the Whale.
You did.
I'm sorry I ever challenged you on Fudgy the Whale, Jack.
Thank you. Pirate's Revenge, Kitty Boats. Okay. Tipsy House. That sounds fun. Oh, it's one of those where it's like a house bent on an angle type
I was like,
thing.
I'm pretty sure that's a family-friendly ride.
Mirror Maze. Yeah, this one's not going to have as many large coasters or anything.
It's more like carnival type vibes or like fair.
They also
Fairgrounds?
have log flume and bumper cars.
Bumper cars.
And a carousel as well. So,
I also saw like there's like museums and stuff.
yeah, this is kind of cool actually.
It feels like it's like, I don't know, like not to say an amusement park needs to have all these rides and stuff, but a lot of these parks to me sound like kind of like campground vibes, like where they have attractions and a bunch of other buildings, like more than just rides, if that makes sense.
I have a project for us, Beaks.
Okay.
On arnoldspark.com, it says leave a lasting legacy. Okay. Commemorate a family member while showing your support for Arnold's Park Amusement Park by purchasing an engraved state pier donor paver. We could get an annual pass donor paver. How much do these things cost?
How much does it cost?
Ooh, that's $1,000.
$1,000?
$1,000. I don't know. We could maybe crowdfund that. Maybe we can get an annual pass. Like stone paver at the state pier.
At the pier.
Yeah.
I'm a girl of the water. That's pretty cool to me. That sounds pretty cool.
It says, frequently asked questions here. Where will my brick be placed? Landscape pavers and granite bricks will not be intermixed, and therefore, if purchasing more than one brick, please keep this in mind when making your selection. I don't know what that means.
Like you can't have different types next to each other,
I
probably?
guess not. When will my brick be placed? Bricks purchased between August 1st and March 31st are installed by Memorial Day. Bricks purchased between April 1st and July 31st will be installed after Labor Day. So we want to get this done. We got to have it done by the end of the month.
Oh, man.
If we want it before Memorial Day.
Or we have to wait the
whole
year.
Yeah, we have to go for Labor Day. All right, so that's Arnold's Park. That one looks cool. I definitely would like to go check that out. I love these older parks. Like, these are great.
Yeah, it was like Maritime Museum.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I mean, this was like when I went to Luna Park out in Australia. Very similar feel to that. And then let's do Conneaut Lake Park. Conneaut. Conneaut.
Conneaut.
Is that how you pronounce it at the top there? Conneaut. I have no idea.
Conneaut, maybe.
Conneaut.
I'm about to look it up.
It's in Pennsylvania. Like so many of its fellow historic parks, Conneaut Lake was originally conceived of as a private resort when it opened in 1892 in the western region of Pennsylvania. But 7 years later, it made the jump from a mere hotel to a full-service entertainment center with the addition of a revolutionary steam-powered carousel. Steam-powered carousel. That sounds awesome.
Conneaut.
Conneaut.
AWT is how they want us to say it. It's a hard,
That's a weird one. Perched on the edge of the state's largest natural lake, the property is still frequented by vacationers drawn to the park's variety of family-friendly rides, like the epically charming Blue Streak, a classic wooden coaster built in 1937. These old coasters, man. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, it has such a cool, like, little icon. That's like the little icon at the top. It's like such a cool little branding.
That actually is really awesome.
Whoever your team is that is branding
fire.
Conneaut Lake Park is really, really awesome. So let's look at some of the others. Dock rentals. Oh man, we could just rent there's a historic hotel there. That's great. Attractions. Oh, they have mini golf and they have a tiki bar. The Devil's Den. What? Okay. Come by for a good scare. This wonderfully spooky ride was created by Pretzel Manufacturing. All right.
That's it.
Pretzel Manufacturing. This look at like the little devil. It looks like something you would find like in a
a hot sauce bottle or something.
Or like a Squirrel Nut Zippers album or something.
Yes.
You know, like it's very classic kind of devil. It looks like it featuring the infamous gum wall.
Like gum, like chewed gum or pre-chewed gum?
I don't know, but the infamous gum wall is part of it.
It's probably post-chewed gum.
Jack, you're saying a lot of words, and none of them are wanting me to want to ride this ride.
If you go to newconneautlakepark.com, you can go check out in the amusements or the attraction area. There's a thing. It's a picture and it says the Devil's Den featuring the infamous gum wall. Okay,
Devil's Den.
Devil's Den gum wall. I'm gonna Google that wall. All right. Devil's Den Dark Ride POV featuring the infamous gum. Oh, there's a POV ride. Okay, there's an attraction for it.
Okay, hold on a second, y'all. We need to see this.
All right, we're gonna skip through
real
this here.
Quick. I'll describe.
It's like a little, it's like a slow ride, but it has kind of Wow, this thing is sketchy as heck looking.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at all the gum on the wall. Oh, so people looks like on the little
It is.
the
It's
hill.
post-chewed gum
It's
wall.
like the Seattle gum wall, except it's like it's just covered everywhere.
It's everywhere on the ride because like the ride is so small, right? And the walls are really close. Even the ceiling is not too high.
Oh God, there's gum all over this thing.
It's chewed gum. I need to specify. This is post-chewed gum.
Oh God, that is horrifying. Okay.
I don't know if I would ride that. I don't know. I'm more terrified of the gum than the ride itself.
What do you think that thing smells like?
Ew.
And there's a little dip, so it goes like wee, goes down and up a little dip. Oh, there's a tiger in front of you.
Oh.
Anyway,
no.
and then it's all spooky stuff
I'm
from
sure
that point on.
it smells sticky.
Oh God, have you been to the Seattle Gum Wall?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's right by the fish market. You know the Pike Place Pier or the Pike Place Market. If you kind of going towards it, go to your left, like on the left side of it, and there's like this alley, and it just has a wall full of people to put their gum on it.
No.
And it just smells moist.
Ew.
It is so gross. So gross, and I can't imagine this is any better. But hey, we got to go to Conneaut Lake Park and put our own gum up on the wall. All right, so last but not least, this is one. I know you've heard about it. I know I've heard about it. Pretty much everyone's heard about this one. It blows me away that it's this old. I did not know this. Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio.
No way.
Dubbed America's roller coaster capital of the world, this 364-acre monster began as a beer hall and bathhouse in 1870 and debuted its first roller coaster, Switchback Railway, in 1892. First coaster, not roller coaster. Back in 1892. Each trip up the tracks offers stunning views of Lake Erie below, and a whopping 3.6 million people visited in 2016 alone, making it the most visited seasonal park in the country, and for good reason. It features a record 71 rides, including 16 different coasters, 5 of which soar higher than 200 feet. Obviously, Cedar Point is like the granddaddy of coaster parks. That is one that I still to this day have not been to, and I absolutely have to get up to.
We have to go.
Yeah, and so unfortunately we missed out on Top Thrill Dragster, which was like one of the big claims to fame. It was one of the first 100-mile. I think you went over 100 miles an hour, and it was one of the tallest coasters in the world at the time. But it was literally you just go up, you go fast, and then you go up and then down, and that's it. That was the whole thing. Now there are versions of that in various parks all over the planet. That one it basically kept breaking down, and I think someone got seriously injured on it, and so they've taken it out. But Cedar Point is still a place I want to go to. Obviously, there's so much stuff to do there that we've got to go.
Yeah.
And, I know big fans of the show have complained to me that how have you not gone to Cedar Point?
How have you not gone to Cedar Point?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
And where is it? Ohio?
Sandusky, Ohio.
Gotta go. I think I have a homie in Ohio.
Oh, really?
So
All right.
I need to make this happen.
So, we did a live show for Annual Pass back in like 2021, I think is what it was. Jeff and I went out to Orlando, and initially we tried to go to Ohio. We were going to do it we were going to try to do it at Cedar Point.
Oh, cool.
But I think just the numbers didn't work out in such a way that it's like, okay, let's do it in Florida because it's easier.
Sense.
Yeah. And so, Cedar Point is definitely one of the places I want to go to for a long, long time. I had no idea it was that old. So it opened up in 1870. That's wild.
Wow.
So over 150 years at this point, that place has been open. That is incredible. So, 1870. So in the first coaster opened up in 1892. So
I need like a theme park like passport now.
Yeah.
Like knowing like so many like rides and actually whole parks are just so old, and like being to some and knowing I need to go to some, I was like, I need a way to track them.
So there is, I know this for a fact because someone sent it to me, or maybe Katie bought it for me. There is a map that has scratch off things. So it's like a U.S. map, and it has theme parks all over the U.S.
What?
And when you go to them, you scratch it off. And so you can see all the ones
so
you've been
cool.
to. It's like, to like mark all the different parks in America.
Okay, that's awesome. So let's get the passport, and then in the back there's the map as well. Because I need something small to travel with. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to like get a little stamp.
You need something to throw in your mini backpack.
Yes, put something for my mini backpack.
There we go. So that is going to do it at our look at all of the 100-plus year, not all of them, but the 7 of the 100-plus year attractions, theme parks in the USA. Again, this is from cntraveler.com. Thank you to those guys for this article. And it's a lot of fun. I like doing this kind of stuff. It's sort of like taking a look at other people's, like the work they've done and kind of, explaining it and taking a look at it from our angle. And I dig this a lot. So hopefully you guys like this as well. Thank you for supporting us for 100 episodes. It means the absolute world to me. This whole thing kind of began as a passion project because I was losing my mind during COVID and during quarantine.
Like most of us.
And so kicked it off with Jeff and myself, and then brought you in about 60 episodes later, about a year year later, you've stepped in and you've been amazing to work with. And I can't wait to keep talking about theme parks and coasters with you and Ben for as long as we possibly can.
Yes.
Until they drag it from our cold dead hands.
5 seasons of Annual Pass. 6 seasons. We're going to talk about Annual Pass till the day we die.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Okay, so now here's the point of the show where I ask you guys a question, and then during our April live stream, we'll go through some of the answers. So over roosterteeth.com, answer this question for me. What has been your favorite moment in Annual Pass history? So what has been your favorite part of Annual Pass over the past 100 episodes? I want to see what you guys come up with, because, we've had a lot of fun times. Jeff and I riding Velocicoaster, that was like episode 5. You and me going to Halloween Horror Nights was so much fun. Like we've done some really, really cool things with this show and talked about a lot of fun stuff. Interviewed a lot of really cool people.
Totally.
We're going to keep doing that. We have another interview coming up very soon with someone who makes giant Lego sculptures.
What?
That's coming soon. That might be the next episode, as a matter of fact. So we've got a lot of really, really cool things working in the pipeline right now. We are going to be, Annual Pass is going to be changing a little bit over the next little bit of time, and just to kind of bear with this, we'll have more details on all that soon. But as long as BK and I and Ben can all keep talking about theme parks, we're going to do it, and hopefully you will join us for that epic adventure. So that's going to be it for us today. Make sure to follow us on all of the social media stuff. Annual_pass over on Twitter and on Instagram. Annual Pass Pod on TikTok. YouTube.com/Annual Pass. Make sure to leave us a review as well, because, that really helps out with findability on podcast services and stuff. If you like the show, just real quickly, give us however many stars you think it is. Leave a sentence feedback.
5 stars,
we
5
love it.
stars.
I'm not pressuring you. I'm just saying
5 stars, 5 stars. It's
whatever
me.
Whatever you want to leave, go ahead and do that. And because that helps us on when other people are looking for stuff. It's like, oh, this will pop up as a highly reviewed show. So anyway, if you choose to highly review it. Anyway, that's gonna do it for us today. Thank you so much, BK. You feel like you learned anything today?
Yes, I learned that I love doing Annual Pass with you, Jack.
Aw, you're so sweet. Thank you very, very much. Well, I love you, and I love all of you amazing people out there watching and listening to the show. We appreciate you so much. Have yourself a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
See ya.